3 Studios.
What's up, guys? So I played the Powerball a couple months ago. You know, it was like that really huge jackpot. And I didn't win, and I was pissed because I wanted a giraffe, and I wanted to name him Shorty and would live happily ever after, and that didn't happen. And then I realized that winning the lottery doesn't always mean that you're gonna get everything you want, or you're gonna be happy, or you're gonna get a giraffe. Sometimes it means the opposite. Sometimes it can ruin your life. I got a list of people that happened to. Let's do it.
Number 10.
Evelyn Adams. Mo money, mo spending money. Some people would consider Evelyn Adams the luckiest woman in the world. Not only did she win the New Jersey lottery, the next year, she won it again. The odds of that happening are like something like 5 trillion to 1. So like not great odds. Her total haul was $5.4 million. She now says that she regrets not learning the word no. She gave money to family, to friends, basically anyone who would ask her. But she couldn't tell herself no either. She was a compulsive gambler and spent a ton of money in Atlantic City on slot machines. Now, Evelyn lives in a trailer park and she can finally say the word no. Number 9. Jack Whitaker. Money can ruin your life and your family's lives. In 2002, Jack Whitaker won a Powerball jackpot worth $314.9 million. And at the time, this was the biggest lottery win in history. Obviously, his win made big news in his town, and everyone started hitting him up for money because everyone knew he had a lot of money. There were over 400 lawsuits on his construction business. Kind of shitty. Everyone's trying to get his money. And then at one point, someone did. A briefcase with $500,000 was stolen from his car outside a strip club. He wasn't just trying to make it rain in that strip club, he was trying to tsunami that bitch. The stress of having all this money was getting to Jack, and he started drinking and picking fights with people, and he decided that he was gonna focus his attention and his money on his granddaughter, Brandy. So he bought her a couple new cars and gave her $2,000 a week in allowance. And she fell prey to drug dealers and became an addict. One of Brandy's friends died of a drug overdose, and not long after that, Brandy went missing. Her body was eventually found behind a broken down van. Jack blames the lottery win for his granddaughter's death, saying he wished he had torn up the ticket.
Number 8.
Gerald Moosewagon. Mo money, mo jail. In 1998, Gerald from Winnipeg, Canada, won a jackpot of $10 million. He thought all of his problems were solved, but they were just beginning. He became the laughingstock of the town for all of his reckless spending, including buying his friends cars and TVs, and buying a huge house he dubbed the Party Pad. Cars and TVs, I want to be his friend. So obviously, the Party Pad brought with it a lifestyle of drugs and alcohol and heavy partying, which is surprising because I thought he was going to use it for meditation. In 2002, his wife died suddenly from undisclosed health complications. And then 1 month later, he was accused of sexually assaulting his 19-year-old housekeeper. Party foul! Later, he was sentenced to 3 months in jail for leading the police on a high-speed car chase of up to 110 miles an hour. By now, Gerald had spent basically every penny, and he was forced to get a minimum wage job to support his girlfriend and 6 kids. In October of 2005, Gerald hanged himself in his parents' garage.
Number 7.
Callie Rogers. Coffee bean gift cards. Mo money, mo sisters sleeping with your boyfriends. In 2003, Callie Rogers became the youngest lotto winner in UK history, winning the US equivalent of $2.8 million when she was just 16. When she won, she told the press that she wasn't gonna do anything crazy. She was just gonna get an accountant to figure out how to spend her money responsibly and live a nice, quiet life. Now, somewhere along the line, those plans changed. She estimates she spent about $380,000 on cocaine alone. Responsibility! She also got a lot of cosmetic surgery. Now, probably she added like 4 more noses on her face so she could do more cocaine. She had 2 kids with a man who was 28, but the relationship ended when he admitted to sleeping with her sister. Callie said she attempted suicide 4 times, so clearly this money wasn't making her any happier. Luckily for Callie, she didn't have any money left. Callie realized that she had a lot of traumas to work through in her past, and these were things that money couldn't fix. So now she's in a stable relationship, and she's working on her demons, and she's much happier not rich.
Number 6.
Suzanne Mullins. Mo money, mo loans. Suzanne Mullins of Virginia won $4.2 million in 1993. But by 2004, she was $154,000 in debt. How does that happen? How do you spend all that money? Here's how. When she won, she decided to split the jackpot 3 ways with her husband and her daughter. So her share worked out to 20 annual payments of $48,000. In 1998, money got tight, and Suzanne decided to take out a loan with the People's Lottery Foundation, which was a loan company from Florida that had a really high interest rate. So the foundation lent her $197,000, which she promised to pay back with her yearly lottery checks. But the lottery changed its rules in 2000, and Suzanne was able to get 1 check with the big lump sum. You'd think, oh good, now Suzanne can pay off her debt, right? Nope. She just stopped making payments entirely. And the People's Lottery Foundation obviously sued her. Suzanne's lawyer claims that she couldn't make payments because she had to pay her son-in-law's hospital bills, which were super high. But the judge ordered her to pay back the loan anyways. At the time of the ruling, Suzanne had no assets to seize. Nothing. Number 5. William Bud Post. Mo money, mo siblings trying to kill ya. In 1988, William Bud Post bought one of 2 winning lottery tickets in the Pennsylvania lottery. His share was about $16.2 million, and he would receive $500,000 each year. Bud didn't come from money, so he didn't really know how to handle money. And the day he won the lottery, he had only $2.64 in his bank account. In just 2 weeks, he had spent $300,000 of the $500,000 he received. He bought some crazy things: a liquor license, a restaurant in Florida, a used car lot, a twin-engine airplane, even though he didn't even have his pilot license. Within 3 months, Bud was $500,000 in debt. He spent $1 million in 3 months. In 1989, Bud's brother hired a hitman to kill him and his wife so he could collect the inheritance. It's not very nice. Luckily, the attempt failed and Bud's brother was arrested. Then, also in 1989, his landlady/girlfriend, Anna Karpik, sued Bud to try to get some of the lottery winnings. She claimed that he had given her $40 from a ring he pawned to go buy lottery tickets, and he had promised that if he won, he'd split it with her. After battling it out for 3 years in court, a judge finally ruled that he owed Anna 1/3 of his winnings, even though that Bud denied he ever made the deal to begin with. Bud couldn't pay Anna because he had spent all of the money he had won, and he was in debt. In 1998, Bud was arrested on a sailboat after refusing to report to prison after he was convicted of firing shots at a bill collector. Oh, you want your money? I got money. It's the name of my shotgun. When Bud died in 2006, he was $1 million in debt and living off of food stamps.
Number 4.
Vivian Nicholson. Mo money, mo spending money. In 1961, Viv Nicholson and her husband Keith won £152,000 in the UK football pools. Today, that would be about the equivalent of $4.5 million. The football pools were a form of the lottery where the winning numbers would be decided by the outcomes of soccer matches. I mean football matches, okay? Football. Everyone's saying football. Don't yell at me. Football. After she won, Viv's motto was spend, spend, spend. And she did. She bought expensive designer dresses, vacations, a new car every 6 months. But then in 1965, Viv's husband died in a car accident. And obviously she was upset and she turned to drinking. By the 1970s, Viv was broke. But in 1998, her rags to riches to rags story was turned into a musical called Spend, Spend, Spend. What a catchy title. That means that Viv was paid royalties because the play was based on her life. Yay! But she quickly spent all that money too. By 2007, at age 71, Viv was living on a pension of only $131 a week, and she was looking for a job. She should have been a personal shopper. Clearly, she had a gift for spending money.
Number 3.
Denise Rossi. Mo money, mo karma. Denise Rossi won the California lottery in 1996 when she and 5 coworkers went in on the winning lottery ticket. Her share was worth $1.3 million. But instead of sharing the great news with her husband Thomas, who she'd been married to for 25 years, she just didn't tell him. 11 days after winning, she filed for divorce, and she said she wanted it to happen quickly. I wonder why. Obviously, Thomas was confused. I mean, He thought they were happily married, and then all of a sudden she's just trying to divorce him, and he doesn't know that it's because she's got all this money. 2 years after the divorce, a letter meant for Denise was accidentally sent to Thomas's address. The letter was from a company that pays lump sums to lottery winners, so Thomas did a little snooping and was like, she won the lottery, that lying bitch. So Thomas took that bitch back to court. When you go through a divorce, you have to be honest about all of your assets. So since Denise had lied about winning the lottery in divorce court, the judge awarded Thomas all of the money. Isn't that awesome? See, sometimes nice guys do finish first. I don't know if Thomas was nice. I have no basis to determine that. I'm just gonna say he was nice, so this is the one story with a happy ending. Yay!
Number 2.
Abraham Shakespeare. Mo money, mo sneaky betches. Abraham Shakespeare hadn't had an easy life. He was a middle school dropout who'd been convicted of multiple robberies. When he and his coworker Michael Ford stopped at a Florida convenience store on their way to Miami, everything changed. He won a $30 million jackpot and opted to take a one-time lump sum of $17 million. Abraham moved out of his working class neighborhood and into a gated community. Aside from his house, like in a car and a Rolex, he was really conservative with his money. But other people were betches. His buddy Ford tried to sue him for some of the winnings because he claimed that just because he was there with him at the gas station when he bought the ticket, he deserved some. So the jury sided with Abraham, obviously, but Abraham was like shaken up from everyone trying to get his money. He didn't want to deal with it anymore. So he started Abraham Shakespeare LLC, a new company. And he started this company with his friend Dee Dee Moore, and he gave her complete control of the company's finances. Uh-oh. Yep, Dee Dee was a sneaky bitch. She made a $1 million withdrawal and bought herself a Corvette before going on vacation. Then, in November of 2009, Abraham's family reported him missing, claiming they hadn't heard from him in months. In their investigation, police searched a house owned by none other than Dee Dee Moore, and they found Abraham's body buried in her house. Shakespeare always ends in tragedy. Dee Dee Moore was convicted of killing Abraham Shakespeare. Is anybody else seeing a trend here about trusting women with your money? Number 1. Martin Tot. That wasn't nice. No money, no problems. In 2001, in Great Britain, Martin Tot and his wife Kay won the lottery. Except they didn't know it. They eventually found out when they saw an appeal from the Lottery Commission seeking the owner of an unclaimed ticket. And it was their ticket. See, they played the same numbers every week, so they knew that they had that winning number. What they didn't have was that ticket. They lost the ticket in basically $4.3 million. Oops. Even though they had receipts from the store where they bought it, proving they had bought it, it was past the 30-day window where you could claim the prize without the ticket, and so they couldn't claim the prize. They were determined to get that $4 million. So they spent all the money they had trying to sue the lottery to get the money. And they lost. And they got divorced. Even the idea of winning the lottery ruins lives. Money is evil. I'll take it, but it's evil.
10 for 10.
All right, guys, that's it for today. Now remember, winning the lottery can ruin your life. So if you do win, send the money to me. I'll take one for the team, all right? My name is Kelly Landry, and you're smarter than you were.
Thank you for watching this Equals 3 Studios production. To watch another episode, click here. Also, don't forget to subscribe. And now, I sleep.